I can't wait until me and my best friend are together and I can talk with her on a video because I'm gonna get the point across so much better. I have such a hard time talking to no one. Like, you can't respond to me. Like, you're a person, but you can't respond to me right now because you're not here. Like, you're not actually here. It's so much easier for me to talk when I'm bouncing ideas off of someone else. So like I wish I could record with someone else, or like I wish you could fucking talk to me because that would make life so much easier, and that would make it so much easier for me to have some direction in these videos. But here we are anyways. I'm going to do my fucking best to explain to you guys how I got out of the cycle of being in toxic relationships, because I really truly think I'm finally done doing all that shit. Because every single time I've ever talked to a boy, which has been many times, I've talked to many boys, men. They were always boys. Let's be honest. It was always toxic as fuck, and I now am truly discovering why it was so toxic. It's mostly due to my anxious attachment style, which I've recently learned about. I'll tell y'all what it is. But I'm just going to go through like everything I've become self-aware about and all my mistakes, because while I can't teach you guys how to get into a healthy relationship because I've never been in one, I can teach you guys how to stop being in toxic ones because I have done that. I just broke up with my last toxic boyfriend like a year ago. And since then I've been alone. No boys, no boys up in my phone having conversations with me like ever. So I've had a lot of time to figure out where I've been going wrong, because for the longest time I told myself, this guy's crazy. The guy is crazy. He's crazy. Not me. I didn't do anything. I just happened to get into a bad relationship with a man that's crazy. There was no way for me to see it coming, acting like I'm blind. Bitch, I chose the man. Like, for the longest time, that did not occur to me that I was the one choosing the man. I chose to be with the crazy man. Like, they don't just happen to be crazy. You literally pick them. Like, you get a choice. You get to choose. Do you want to be with a healthy one, or do you want to be with an unhealthy, fucked up, toxic one? Like, you have to be somewhat toxic to be in a toxic relationship. Like, you can't just be healthy. You can't just be a perfectly healthy, happy human being and then choose to be with someone who's not. Healthy people don't choose to be with men that are fucked up. Duh. Sounds so obvious to me now, but anyways, most of my problems stem from my anxious attachment style, because I've always just been so afraid of being alone. And I've recently been made aware of this by listening to like therapists on YouTube and stuff. But my anxious attachment started literally like in my first relationship. Like, it didn't develop over time, it was always there. So it's most likely something that comes from your childhood, but it doesn't even have to be something super obvious, like your parents literally leaving you or something. It can, the most common example I've heard was like when you're crying in your crib as a child, as an infant baby, and your mom doesn't come to like hold you and like put you back to sleep or whatever. The mom just leaves you in the crib crying. Like, I literally have a memory of being at daycare, and I crawled up out of my crib and walked up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs was a door, and I remember banging on this door for like 3 hours, sobbing, scream crying when I was like 2 years old. Like, this is one of my first memories, and no one would come to the door. And I'm pretty sure I was the only one at daycare that day or something, or I was the only one taking a nap. But like, I banged on this door for so fucking long. I could barely even walk. I had to like crawl up the stairs and sobbed, and nobody came to get me. Like, nobody was like, "Oh, baby, why are you crying? Like, what's wrong?" Literally, just that could have caused my anxious attachment style. So many fucking things could have caused it, and there's so many things that happened to me that probably I don't remember. But that's not even the point, because it doesn't really matter why you have it. It just matters that you're aware that you have it. So there's anxious attachment, secure attachment, and avoidant. There's also a combination of anxious and avoidant, which is pretty rare. But mine's obviously anxious. And then I got into relationships with men who also had anxious attachment styles. And that's just a horrible combination. Like, especially because I wasn't aware that I had this anxious attachment style. Like, everything I did, I just thought was normal. And it definitely fucking wasn't. I don't know how I thought it was normal looking back, but um my first relationship, the most obvious thing to me now is we would have communication non-stop. Like, if we stopped talking for 1 second, the other person would freak out. Like, it went both ways. If he stopped talking to me, I would freak out. If I stopped talking to him, I would freak out. Even if I literally communicated like, "Hey, I'm going to do this thing right now. Like, I'm not going to text you. I'll talk to you later. Bye." The guy would still freak the fuck out. So maybe even just him, even if it wasn't me, like, even if he was just freaking out, he might have taught me that I'm supposed to talk to a guy 24 fucking 7 or something's wrong, you know? And so we would literally FaceTime overnight while we were asleep. Every single night. Every single night. Without fail. Every night we would FaceTime and leave the FaceTime on, like with my phone plugged in, like a fucking 10-hour FaceTime every night. And if we didn't, there was a huge fight or like a problem, just a huge problem for some fucking reason. Like, even if I would go on vacation and be literally around other people, I would like secretly FaceTime him. I would like turn the volume on one and be like, "Bye, good night." Like, how fucking weird. When I was like 15 years old. Anyways, then in my first relationship, I was also like, the rest of the relationships, oh my god, the rest of the relationships I had were also just like super attached. Like, obviously not that bad because like I grew up, and that's just obviously horrible. But like, that's, I still had that anxious attachment style, and I still do now. But now I'm like becoming aware and understanding that I need to be in a relationship with someone who is securely attached. And if they don't text me every fucking minute, they're normal people, and it's good because they're not like, if you're texting somebody every fucking minute, you obviously don't really have a life, you know? You obviously don't have like hobbies or like a career, because like, how do you have time? Like, you're obviously not taking care of yourself if you're able to text someone every minute of every day, you know? So now I'm learning that it's a good thing if a man doesn't text me back right away, because that means he has shit to do. It doesn't immediately mean that he like doesn't like me or he's cheating on me or like whatever the fuck. So that's one thing I've learned, is to become aware of my anxious attachment, and understand that if they don't text me back right away, if they don't call me 10 times a day, if they don't like literally praise me every possible chance they have and compliment me all the fucking time, it's okay. Like, they can just be human beings, and we can act in this more of like a friend way. Like, I don't treat my friends like that. I don't, okay, I kind of call my best friend like every day, but that's because we're long distance and I miss her. So, whatever. But we don't have to call 10 times a day. And if my friends don't answer my text for literally 3 days, I won't even fucking notice. I'll just be like, "LOL, you good? Like, where you been?" You can treat a person you're in a relationship like kind of similar. Like, you don't have to talk to them every 10 minutes. You don't have to know where they're going at all times, who they're with, what they're up to, like how their day is going. Like, Save the talking for when you're with them and you want quality time with them. Because if they always know everything you're doing and how you're feeling at all times, what are you guys gonna talk about when you're together? Like, it's gonna get boring to hang out with them. What the fuck? It's gonna get boring. So just like chill the fuck out. Basically, in summary, chill the fuck out. This lighting sucks. I don't know how to fix it. Anyways, moving on. My other problem is that I'm addicted to attention. I'm such an attention seeker, fucking constantly freaking the fuck out. And really all it is I want attention. Every time I get into a relationship with someone toxic or I just even start talking to them, it's like never ever ever been because I like genuinely like the man. Oh, that's awful to say, but like it's never like, oh my god, you're so cool, I love being around you, you bring me great energy, you lift me up, you teach me new things, we have lots of things in common. It's literally never been that. It's always like, you give me attention, I like attention, let's keep hanging out. And once you start to see that, it just becomes more and more obvious. Like, if you literally are talking to somebody and within the first month they bring you any sort of negative energy, you obviously don't actually like them. Because like if you meet a friend and within 1 month of being friends with that person they do something you don't like, or like they do something that makes you uneasy, you're not going to be friends with them anymore. Like, if their red flags come out that fucking fast, you're going to be like, oh, I don't really like that person, I don't really want to be friends with them. But when it's a man and you have an anxious attachment style and you like want attention from them, you become addicted to that shit fast. Like, I become addicted to a man literally like that. Like, the other day, I work as a waitress currently, and the other day, this man outright asked me for my number. It was like, the way he did it was kind of cute, all right? But like, it flowed with the conversation, but he literally asked me for my number while I was like standing at the table, like just talking to them. Like, I normally talk to people who sit at tables at my work. But I didn't even like find this man very attractive. Like, he was like cute or whatever, like he could talk good or whatever, but I literally don't fucking know him. Like, at all. Literally do not know him. And I wrote my number on the thing. Have never seen this man in my life. We talked for literally 30 seconds and I wrote my number down, and then the hours after I did that, the next morning, the next day, all of the next day, I was literally thinking like, oh my god, when is he gonna text me? Like, when is he gonna text me? Like, oh my god, did he just do that as a joke? Like, oh my god. I don't even know him. Like, who gives a fuck? Why do I give a fuck? I don't know why I give a fuck, but what's important is that I'm understanding now that it's unreasonable and ridiculous that I'm like worried about why he's like, what? That is so bizarre. But it's just my anxious attachment style showing. It's like, it radiates off my body at all times, and I don't know if there's any way for me to like cure it per se, but the more aware I become of it, the more I'm able to be like, okay, that's not real. Like, me being nervous about this man, like, I don't actually care about what this man thinks of me. That's not real. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. He could be a serial murderer for all I know. I obviously don't actually care about what he thinks of me. But like, something in my subconscious is telling me I care. And that's okay. But the more aware you become, the easier it is to just like silence that, because that's not real and it's not good. And I don't need to be in a relationship with this random man. Like, I'm trying to be celibate. I'm trying not to date. I know he's not my soulmate. Like, you can literally tell if someone's your soulmate the second you look at them. Like, Okay, maybe not the second you look at them, but like you can pretty quickly figure out if someone's your soulmate or not. You know what I mean by soulmate? Like I don't actually mean like, oh my god, you have to be them with them forever, but like you can pretty easily tell if you and this person are compatible or not. Like do you have similar hobbies? Like do you talk the same way? Like do you like the way that they present themselves around other people? Like it's pretty easy to figure it out. Like you don't need to talk for a long time to figure out if someone is somebody you want to be with for a decent amount of time and like can see a future with or not. So once you decide that, you can just let it go, you know? You don't need to try to like milk it for everything. Like you don't need to try to get attention from somebody who you don't really see a future with. Like what's the point? It's a waste of time. We have shit to be doing. Like we have goals to accomplish. Like you need to be going to the gym, you need to be drinking your water, you need to fucking work on your career, you need to take care of your mental health. Like there's so many things. You need to be eating healthy. There's so many things for us to focus on, and taking the time out of your day to think about, oh my god, what does this man think of me? Like, what do I say? What do I blah, blah, blah? For somebody who like you don't see a future with, for somebody who doesn't help you become a better person, it's not worth your time. We have so many important things to be doing, and every fucking minute of every day is so precious. You could fucking die tomorrow. Like, are you gonna waste your time trying to convince someone that they should care about you and that they should compliment you and stuff, all because like you're addicted to attention? I'm just realizing like my time is precious and I need to make sure I'm not wasting it trying to get attention all the time, basically. But also it comes from not really valuing myself. Like the reason I would stay in these awful relationships is because deep fucking down, like obviously my conscious brain would never be like, oh, you're not good enough, like obviously, but deep down there has to be something in my soul that's like, you don't deserve this, and like you don't, there's something telling me that I don't deserve to be in a happy relationship, and that's why I'm not in one. It's the only real explanation. And so the more you value yourself, the more you think like, I am a high value woman and I deserve to be in a relationship with a high value man, and these are my actions that prove that I'm worthy of someone who gives me love and respect and is secure in themselves. The more secure you become in yourself, the easier it's going to be to find someone who's secure with themselves. Like I was really just attracting the energy that I was putting out for the longest time. Like I was so needing of validation that I was only attracting people who also were needing a validation, and then we would just validate each other, and it had nothing to do with how compatible we actually were. But the more you value yourself, the more other people are going to value you. And so if you tolerate disrespect, like if someone disrespects you and you communicate, hey, I don't like that you did that. It made me uncomfortable. It made me feel this way, whatever. Please don't do it again, or I will leave. I mean, you don't have to say it like that, but like, don't do it again. And then they fucking do it again. And then you don't leave. Well, now they think they think that you don't value yourself. If you don't leave after putting up a boundary and someone crosses it, when people cross your boundaries and you let them do it again, you're showing that you don't care about yourself. So you gotta literally leave. Like, They're not gonna change, baby. I'm talking to my past self right now. They're not gonna change, baby girl. I know you want them to change so bad because you're so scared of being alone. But like, you're not gonna be alone forever. Also, so what if you're alone? Like, can't you be your own best friend? You have friends, you got your parents, you have your family, you have siblings, you have so many people in your life. You have your coworkers, you have people you go to school with, you have all these people to choose from. Like, what is this one person gonna do for you? Like, okay, you're gonna be sad for 3 days. You can be sad for 3 days to be happy for the rest of your life. Like, you just gotta break it off. I know it's hard, but you just gotta do it. You just gotta rip the band aid off, leave him, and then don't go back to someone who's toxic again. It's fucking hard to find somebody who's not toxic, but the more aware you become, the easier it is to leave. And you just gotta recognize that you're addicted to attention and you're addicted to like physical touch. I'm very addicted to physical touch. Like, that is a crazy feeling. Like, when somebody gives me a fucking hug, especially from a man or like somebody that I'm attracted to, that is like a whole nother feeling. And of course, I want that in my life, but like, I don't want to have that at the expense of my mental health. You know? Like, that's not worth it. Like, a hug is not fucking worth literal, like, me literally going insane. I was going so crazy when I was in these relationships. I feel so much more sane now that I'm out of it. Like, it is night and day. Holy shit. I can't believe I did that, y'all. It's crazy how much you don't see it when you're in it until you're out of it and you're like, what the fuck was I doing? Holy shit. What was I doing? I was crazy. Oh, I have another thing. Another reason I didn't leave is because I was so worried about the other person. Because of course you care about them. Like, I care about everybody. I care about literally everybody on this whole planet. Does that mean I have to date them? No. But I care about them so much that I'm like, "Oh, I can't leave. Like, they're going to be sad." And like, one of my friends right now is going through this thing where the guy is like so depressed and so she doesn't want to stop talking to him. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than this. Like, he supports her when she's sad, but she also supports him when he's sad. And she's like, "Oh, I can't stop talking to him because he's so sad and he's just going to get even sadder. And I care about him so much. I don't want him to be sad. But if I leave, he'll be sad. So I can't leave. Like, I can't stop talking to him." Like, I mean, she did leave, but like, they still talk. But it's like, at some point, you just got to accept that people are responsible for their own emotions. You being there is not going to make him happier. It's just going to make him stagnant. It's going to make him like comfortable where he's at. Like, you got to let people hit rock bottom so that they can switch their life around. Because when you keep people at this level where it's like, oh, it's not that bad, life's not that bad for me to change, they're never going to change. Like, you got to let people go on their own journey and you cannot interrupt their journey. It's interfering with the universe. It's disrespectful to try to interrupt people's journey. Like, if they didn't fucking ask, don't give them help. Like, it's that simple. So, like, for the example of my friend, she is not responsible for his emotions and she can't control his emotions. So her staying is not helping him in any way. Like, if that's truly why, like, if you truly care about the person, you should fucking leave because you leaving is going to help them in the end. At the end of the fucking day, it's going to help them the most for you to peace out, stop talking to them, stop answering their texts. Like, you don't have to block them and do all this crazy thing. Like, I'm never talking to you again. You can just, like, stop answering, you know? You can just decide that you want better for them and for yourself. And, like, just because you leave doesn't mean you don't like the person. Like, you can love somebody and let them go. Like, you're perfect, but this is not good for us. And that's okay. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say today. It's just crazy the shit I went through, y'all. Like, the shit I had to figure out and how oblivious I was to it all. It's just crazy. But if you don't see yourself with this person for a long time, if you're not literally 100% happy, 100% confident in the relationship, like, if it's a maybe, it's a no. Have you heard that before? If it's a maybe, then it's just no. Just say no. Like, just move on. You're wasting your time. It's not worth the stress, anxiety, the fear. It's not worth all those feelings just for what? Attention? Like, at the end of the day, you just want attention. You just want somebody to hold you. Go give a hug to your friend. Go give a hug to your mom. Like, you can't rely on those things to make you happy. You gotta figure this shit out for yourself. And when you do, you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna be so much more confident in yourself and confident in your ability to find a healthy relationship. Like, I know for a fact that the next relationship I get into is gonna be like, it's gonna be beautiful, y'all. I can't wait, but like, I know that I need to keep working on myself or I'm never gonna get there. And I know that I need to be alone for a while for this to happen for me and for me to find somebody who I'm truly compatible with. I just need a lot more time becoming more self-aware and like understanding how I communicate and how I want to be loved and how I show love to myself and how I want other people to show love to me. All this shit, I just needs time for me to figure out. Like, I'm young and you don't heal. I hate to say it, but like, you don't heal when you're in a relationship. Like, not like this. I mean, maybe you can like heal from trauma with somebody who really, really loves you and cares about you to the fullest. Um, when you're committed to each other and everything. But like, if you have problems with being in relationships, you're not going to heal in a relationship. That doesn't even make sense. Think about it. Like, you need to be alone to figure it out what you want out of a relationship. So just leave them and don't go back. Like, if you get out of a toxic relationship and then jump right into one a week, a month, 6 months later, it's so likely that you didn't figure your shit out. Like, it hasn't been a year, it's been like 10 months or something. But it's been like 10 months of being me deliberately going out of my way to be like, okay, I'm not talking to anyone. Like, if somebody hits on me, I'm not talking to them. If there's a cute boy, I'm not talking to them. Like, I'm not getting into the cycle of talking, like being in the talking stage, you know? I have had a few relapses where I've like spent one day with a guy or like went on one like date with a guy or like stayed the night at their house one time or something. That happened twice. Oops. Um, but I recognize like, oops, wasn't supposed to do that, and I stopped talking to them immediately. So that's good. There's progress being made. Nobody's fucking perfect. Like, if you go from being horribly addicted to something, anything, you're not just gonna be able to immediately cold turkey. I mean, you might. If you do, fucking good for you. That shit's impressive, but most likely you're gonna have a relapse or two or three. If you got self control though, props to you. But I had some relapses, but I've stayed out of being in the talking stage with anyone though, for sure. Because I just need so much more time to work on myself. Like, looking back, I'm like, holy shit, I got a lot to work through, and this is gonna take a minute. It's gonna take longer than like I expect to be alone for another fucking 3 years. I don't expect to get into a relationship the next 3 years. Plus, I want to become the best version of myself so that when I attract the man that I'm going to get into a relationship with, he's the best version of himself as well. And like, I'm deserving of him and he's deserving of me. And like you attract what you put out. So like I want to wait until I'm giving off energy of love and abundance and health, wealth, like to the fullest of my ability. And that's going to fucking take work. Like that's not going to take a few months, a year. Like that's going to take a long time for me to build up my confidence, my skills, my self-awareness. Like it's going to take me years of meditation, journaling. I will have to go to therapy for sure. I'll get on that eventually, but it's going to take me a long time to work on myself and that's okay. And I'm going to be okay. And everything's going to be fucking okay because being alone is great and being by myself feels amazing. I love being by myself. I love working on myself and working on my hobbies and having time to do everything I want to fucking do in my life. And like being tied down is not something I want to do right now, anyways. Like, I want to be able to go wherever I want, do whatever I want, and not have to like worry about someone else at all. This is the stage of my life where I can like go explore and do whatever the fuck I want. And so, like, if there's someone else there that's changing affecting my decisions and affecting like where I go and what I do and who I hang out with and like if I travel or not or if I fucking move, like what if tomorrow I want to decide to just move to fucking I don't know, anywhere. Like move far away though. I'm gonna have to leave the person. Like if I was in a relationship and I just up and decided to move away, well that's gonna affect them. And so it's not even a good idea for me to be in a relationship right now anyways. And that's okay. It's okay to be alone. And you're gonna be okay. And you're gonna be a lot better off if you are alone for a while before you jump into a relationship because the longer you wait, the better you're gonna become and the better person you're gonna attract. I gotta focus. I gotta stay focused, work on myself, and not talk to boys. No more relapses. Jesus. Okay. I don't have anything else to say. I love you guys, and I hope you can please just leave if you're in a toxic relationship. Like, you're gonna be sad for one day. Okay. You could be sad for a while, but you're choosing to fucking be sad. You are. It's a choice. You have control over your own emotions, and if you don't right now, you need to figure out how. Like emotions come and go. You know the fucking saying, this too shall pass. You've been happy before, you've been sad before. Like, I remember when my cat died. I was sad for a day or two. And then life goes on. Like, it be like that, you know? Like, life goes on. It's just a fucking boy. He's not even that good, anyways. He doesn't treat you that good. He's not perfect. Like, you can have the man of your dreams, and you're choosing to be with this man. Not man. I hate saying that. I'm literally bi. Like, you can have the partner of your dreams and you're choosing to stay with this person. The longer you stay with this person, the longer you have to wait for the person of your dreams to enter your life and treat you like a fucking queen. What are you doing? You're wasting time. Okay. That's the end of my therapy session for today. I love you guys so fucking much. And I hope you can make a good decision. But please journal, please meditate. That's how you become self aware. If you want to become more self aware of your reality and how you created it and how to create a better one, start with journaling and meditation. That's the easiest way, most simple thing. You can just look that shit up on the internet. Okay, I love you guys so fucking much. Bye.